Okay, I watched We Live in Time, the new John Crowley movie. John Crowley, directed my number one of 2015, Brooklyn. Hasn't done a whole lot since. I think he did the Goldfinch or whatever shit movie that was. That was 2.5 hours about an art gallery explosion or something. Maybe Todd saw it. Anyway, it wasn't supposed to be very good. But this movie is supposed to be good. It has good ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got an A-list cast. We got Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, people that I'm going to take the minus 180 that they'll probably win Oscars in the next 10 years. They seem overdue. And this really seems like an Oscar kind of movie. And the reason I can say that is because it's released in October, it's A24, and they both are naked in the movie. So there you go. Otherwise, this movie is an R rating for absolutely no reason. It's just the nudity in it, I think, to establish that they want to get Oscar nominations. Anyway, it's more superfluous nudity than Florence Pugh had in Oppenheimer. And that that had Oscar success. Anyway, so this is a movie about two people that are in love. Their names are Tobias and Almut, and they are in Britain. And they have a meet cute where she hits him with a car, and they fall in love, and everything goes great. The movie basically does the 500 Days of Summer shtick, where it kind of just flashes back and forth, and it's kind of interesting. Like a week after seeing The Outrun, which also was a movie that followed no sort of linear chronology, this movie does the same kind of shit, although the characters are not ostensibly drunk. It's just like, okay, here's what happened the first day they met, then here's like 2 weeks before they broke up, and then here's when they got pregnant, and here's when she got the cancer diagnosis. By the way, it's not a spoiler because you see that in the trailer. But you know what? So I think the screenplay thinks that it's like being totally innovative and novel in this approach. What it left me with is just a longing for movies that did that shit better, like 500 Days of Summer or like Blue Valentine. The nonlinear structure just kind of, I think, falls flat here. And what it really does is it just obfuscates what is a very, very basic story with very flat cardboard characters. I mean, he is just, a guy who's gotten over a breakup, and she's this aspiring chef. There's absolutely nothing unique about these characters. They are sitcom characters. This is like a Netflix romance movie, except it's just with an A-list cast, and it's with a quality director. So I gotta say, this movie was pretty disappointing. There's just, Florence Pugh made a better movie earlier this year called A Good Person with Morgan Freeman that did not get great reviews, and that movie is kind of substantially better than this, and she's better in that movie as well. I also thought about a movie that I saw earlier this year called Nowhere Special, which was also about a guy who's dying and has a young child. But that movie was like emotionally rich and interesting. This movie just feels like it's like one melodramatic trope after another. And it's pretty disappointing coming from this cast and this director. So I'm giving it a generous 2 stars. I bumped it a half star because the best thing about the movie is there's a very cool childbirth scene. It's like the Pieces of a Woman childbirth scene, except it's in the back of a gas station, which I think is pretty cool. I'll give the actors props for that. But otherwise, this is pretty lame movie, pretty bad. I don't know why. I think people are giving it positive reviews because they got the screener, they saw the cast list, and they saw that it was A24, but they didn't actually watch it. So don't see this. It's not very good. See A Good Person, which is a much better Florence Pugh kind of weepy performance, but in a good movie. So this is a 2-star movie. I'm kind of glad you guys didn't see it. I'd be intrigued if you saw it, but it's not very good.
I wanted to see that one.
It's not coming to our city until next week for some reason. So, but
yeah, and
I had this on my
driven
Oscar
20
predictions in
minutes
January
and
as
seen
well.
This will not be getting Oscar. I would be shocked if this got Oscar nominations. If people actually watch it. I mean, you guys might like it a little more than I did. I just thought it's just so flat, and it's just, oh God, it was so basic. And of course, everybody in the theater loved it. I mean, there were people crying at the end of this movie. So maybe I am just a douchebag. I win douchebag award, whatever. But I could not, this movie did not connect with me at all.